Me and my wife friend. Me and my wife friend. Me and my wife friend. Me and my wife friend.
Yeah.
You know.
So today's episode, we are touching on Mr. Jeffrey Epstein.
Ooh.
Right. And that whole situation. Marv, if we don't know about it, if you don't know
he
about it.
didn't kill himself.
All right, well let's you're jumping ahead, Marv.
I'm just letting you know.
Let's break it down for the person who is a novice to this subject, doesn't know what's going on, is new, haven't heard nothing about it. Give us some background from what you know, Marv, because you actually brought it up to me when we decided to do this episode. I really was kind of, not in the know about the details on it. So what we did kind of together, we watched some Epstein documentaries. No, it's the TV show, right?
Well, it was a documentary. It was a documentary.
Okay, yeah. Docuseries.
Docuseries, I should say, yeah. And what they were talking about and what they were what the subject matter was that Jeffrey Epstein was.
Well, who is he? We gotta let people know
he is
who he is.
financier, a finance person, or like some type of like real estate finance person. He started off as a teacher.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah.
But then he kind of made his way into levels of society and kind of worked his way up into the Donald Trumps and into the like socialite.
Let's say he was a social elite. Let's say he was a social elite.
Right.
And we put it like that. If we dumb it down real quick, who was Jeffrey Epstein? From the people that he was networking with, we're talking about like
Donald
presidents,
Trump.
Former presidents, Donald Trump, our current president, Bill Clinton,
lots of
top actresses. And if you watch the documentary, because my thing's like, I never heard of this guy. Some of the stuff in some of these names that come up in Hollywood that are like, oh, this person, I never heard of him. He didn't mean nothing to me.
I will say this though, okay, I am in for a good conspiracy theory.
Hey, I'm good for it. I love conspiracy. That's my thing, man.
But I do have to say, if I think about this logically and rationally.
Wait.
Not saying that I agree with anything.
What's going on? We ain't told the people what's going on.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is, I'm getting to it. So there are a lot of Hollywood people that are on his flight log. So like Seth Green and Tom Hanks and President Trump and Bill Clinton and all of these people were documented flying on his plane to the island.
So Marv is speaking on Jeffrey Epstein is a social elite. Right. He started out as a teacher in one of the top high schools, like a real private high school.
In New York.
And in New York. He was young, right? The way he got into the, we'll say the top social class, knowing people, he left the school.
Like he was messing with billionaires. Wouldn't touch a client unless they had $1 million plus.
He left the school, became a stockbroker, got inside as a stockbroker, got his money, got into networking with people basically through that. So he got a lot. He built a big fortune of wealth. Without finishing college, but just through networking and things of that nature. Right. So when Mars talked about all these people going to this island, this man has had enough money to basically, it wasn't his island. It was, where were they at? Was it Florida?
It was his island.
It was Florida?
Well, like he had property all over. He had property in Florida and
the documentary,
New York.
The documentary was specifically talking about this neighborhood in Florida.
Oh yeah, the neighborhood.
They crossed the bridge.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
when you cross the bridge. I can't remember the neighborhood, but basically it was basically a island. That neighborhood is an island in Florida. because you have to cross. You have to cross. It's not. He didn't.
Okay.
He doesn't own the whole land, is what they were saying from my understanding, right?
I thought he had like no. I think that was his residence. He had a whole separate island.
We're about to find out.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, Epstein Island. So we Googled it. I said, "What is Epstein Island?" We Googled it. We want to make sure we click. We don't want to be just talking off the head of y'all. It said Little St. James is a private island off United States Virgin Islands off the coast of St. Thomas, and belongs to the sub-district East End St. Thomas. The 70 through 78 acres, 70 through 78 acres island was owned by American convict child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein from 1998 until 2019, his death. So what we saw in the docuseries is that it started with them bringing the girls to the part of Florida because they weren't going to the island initially.
Right.
And then I guess
the house in Florida.
The house in Florida, which was also a very nice neighborhood.
And that's around the time that he met Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right.
Who was this lady from...
Was he overseas?
UK,
what, UK or
the British? And that's how she knows Prince Andrew, and Prince Andrew has been, on this island allegedly.
And she
would
some
bring
scandals in UK, right?
She would bring So she kind of fled the UK and she made her way over to the United States. But anyways, her whole role in the Jeffrey Epstein thing is that she would find these young ladies, these girls, these children, not even young ladies, I mean maybe young ladies, I don't know, but these children, individuals.
No, they were children. Like we were talking his first girl that was in the docu-series. So it was like 13, 14.
That's a child.
The way he baited them in was about getting a massage,
right?
Becoming
because
$200.
That's right. Because some of these girls, they were wanting to become a masseuse. They were a professional massage therapist.
He said
this glamorous, come to this big house on this glamorous, and you'll be a professional masseuse, and
it was well known that he was giving out $200 for two girls for massage. It was well known around the high school that was going on. So, and these girls,
but then eventually during the massage, he would say, "Hey, take off your panties.
Take off your
your this or your that."
And was literally like some of the girls he was having intercourse with a lot of the girls at a young age.
Right.
Of course, these young women feel that they can't tell anybody, it's protected. You get programmed to where some of them okay, it's normal now.
They knew it was wrong. They knew that something was off. These girls that Jeffrey Epstein was doing this to, they knew something was off. But then what he did was he preyed on the vulnerable, and the most vulnerable kids out there, children, were poor kids who came from broken families. Maybe their parents were on the streets or suffered through addiction or anything like that, and just didn't have a stable home life. And so what would happen is that these girls would come back because they need the money. They need the $200. So each time it's $200, they said, "Shit, yeah." To me, it looks like he even though they knew something was off in their mind, this is not right. What am I doing?
He built a whole system, a whole corporation off of
these
young women who are underage, underdeveloped. Because I remember in the documentary, one of the young women said, as she became aware, she understood that for them, the younger the better. Like when the first time they told her to take off her clothes and she had kitty underwear, she remembered feeling the same, but she remembered they chuckled. They chuckled.
That's disgusting.
They chuckled because it was they liked that it was even baby panties, children panties. So
yeah, that's disgusting.
And for it to grow from coming to his house to him having a whole private island, in the Virgin Islands, having a whole private island. And like you said, now that's the part I don't even know much about. Like, you may have to educate me. I don't even know how much you know about it, but what was going on Epstein Island? Like, if we know for a fact.
The same thing that they would take these girls over there, or these girls that lived there, or and then he would do the same thing. They would massage